we know now that China, North Korea, Iran, Russia are all linked together in a new kind of axis of authoritarianism, and they have got Syria now involved directly with them. Iran is the hand really of China in these areas in the Middle East as well, looking into trying to increase the linkages with Gulf states. And they've done a rapprochement with Saudi at the same time. So all of this is on the move, and you can see what it's done.
Do you think we do need to take a sort of tougher diplomatic approach to Iran, given the developments we're seeing around the world?
Yes, I think there's no question that we are behind the curve on this one. America has actually already urged us to proscribe the IRGC, and we still haven't done it. We have at the moment, we had a debate about the fact that Hizb ut-Tahrir, they have prescribed that, which is now a prescribed terrorist organization that has been present in the UK, and that's taken quite a lot of pressure, but that's very small by comparison with the IRGC. What's going on is that we know that the IRGC, which is the arm of the Iranian government, has been deeply involved in the original Gaza strikes and has been supplying them with arms and weapons. It supports completely other terrorist organizations as well. And it's been active down in the Red Sea as well. So all of these things are what they have organized. Underneath the cover of the Gaza strikes and the Gaza war going on, they have been upping their executions of those who had protested against the rule of the present theocracy, and the thousands that they've been actually literally quietly taking away and executing, which has caused no attention from the world. And they're busy here in the UK. They have two banks in London that are busy trading, and they use a lot of that money, so the security individuals believe here in the UK, to help fund quite a lot of what's going on our streets at the moment, and some of the increase in anti-Semitism, etc., that's there. So all of this is part of it. But then you have to add one other bit, and I'll finish on this, which is we know now that China, North Korea, Iran, Russia are all linked together in a new kind of axis of authoritarianism, and they have got Syria now involved directly with them. Iran is the hand really of China in these areas in the Middle East as well, looking into trying to increase the linkages with Gulf states. And they've done a rapprochement with Saudi at the same time. So all of this is on the move, and you can see what it's done. It's taken pressure off Russia over Ukraine. America is now split as to how they support those under threat in Israel or in Russia. And China is eyeing up Taiwan, knowing that with all this pressure going on, America simply won't be able to cope, and the West seems reluctant to. So we should be proscribing Iran, and the West itself should be taking a very tough line. We have no influence over them at all.
You've been pressurising the Prime Minister on this. You've asked him questions about it. Why is the government not taking a stronger line in your view?
Well, I'm told that there are apparently two reasons why they think they shouldn't. As you know, the Foreign Office is reluctant to sanction anybody, let alone prescribe the IRGC. So they were slow to get off on sanctioning some of the oligarchs originally. We have money frozen of the Russian government here in the UK, as they do abroad, and we should be doing more about seizing that money. But when it comes to Iran, the two arguments that they run on this are, one, if we do anything like that, we will lose our influence with Iran. And the second argument that I have heard made by somebody in the Foreign Office, which is we are the back channel into Iran for the USA. Those two seem to me to be absurd. I don't know what influence we're supposed to have. I was told, oh, well, you know, we got Nazanin Zaghari Ratcliffe out. No, you paid for that. The British government paid huge sums of money on a debt that was owed. So that's not influence. And the second bit was somehow as a back channel. I don't know why the USA would need a Britain to be some kind of back channel to Iran. If it needs to get into contact with Iran, there are plenty of ways of doing it. They don't have to do it through the UK.
Well, I think the point is that we have diplomatic relations and a presence in Tehran, whereas the Americans don't.
Yeah, no, but my point comes back to the single point. What is the point of that if we just sit here placidly saying we have to be a back channel to the USA? I've talked to lots of American politicians, many who were did not know that this was actually the excuse, because America itself has called on the UK to prescribe the IRGC. So I don't think they think that they need a back channel. It seems to me more of an excuse of the reluctance to do anything on this. We really do need to act. The brutality of this regime is quite staggering at home and abroad.
Now, you mentioned the sort of axis as you see it with Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran. On China, the biggest player in all of that, David Cameron, Lord Cameron, is now planning a visit there, and he says he wants engagement with Beijing. What's your view on that?
Well, there's engagement and then there's bottom kissing, if you don't mind me saying so. I think engagement, you have that anyway, all the time. If there's an issue, you raise it. You don't need to consider that somehow we need to go over there and prostrate ourselves in front of them. China is and this is not just me, by the way, this is security services saying China poses now the most significant threat to West and the Western values, because of course its money is hugely involved in a great deal of these organizations through Iran. And secondly, of course, Russia itself right now is being supported by China. North Korea, it brokered the deal between North Korea and Russia to provide arms for Russia, which North Korea is now doing. But we know that China was already secretly providing arms, and they'll now anyway be shipped through North Korea and rebadged.